Good morning, everybody. I wanted to do that whole like good morning, Reef and World. That's just so tacky. It's good to see everybody here. We already got some people online here. Let me just do a little introduction here. I'm Matthew from My First Fish Tank, and this is Help Desk Live. We're here every single Saturday morning, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, answering all of your beginner questions. And we're getting fancier here because check this out. I figured out how to do a chat over here that's transparent. It took some CSS coding, but we figured that out. If I don't know the answer to your question, we have a lot of people over here who are experts and who will type out some answers for us, hopefully. If that doesn't work, we can always jump onto our handy dandy screen share, find the answers ourselves. And if that still doesn't work, we can even hop on and get a Skype guest here who can help us. By the way, that I should say, if you are interested in jumping on this live stream, and via Skype, shoot me an email at contact@myfirstfishtank.com. I'll put it right down there, and I can send you a link when we have time. Get some of your beginner insights, so on and so forth. That would be fantastic. What else do I have for you today? Oh, big day, by the way, everybody. I want to share my screen with you before we jump into questions and greet everybody. Check this out. It was a big week for My First Fish Tank. For those of you who are YouTubers yourself, you will get this. But I had a big milestone this week, and let's see if we can see it here. I hit... Let's see here, can you see it? Oh no, you can't even see it. Come on now. Because my stupid thing's in the way here. Screen share, we're gonna hide my window capture real quick. Hide window capture, window, chat screen, here we go, there it is. 10,227. So after a couple years of full-time YouTube work, I finally got to 10,000. So I did it. I feel great. Now I'm just going to take a vacation. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to take a vacation. That would be ridiculous. But yes, big week here at My First Fish Tank. Also, one more thing, and then we're going to greet everybody and say hi. I also... let's see, how can I explain this? So on my website right over here, I started a store. So you click on the store and it takes you to Teespring. Now, I'm going to be honest, these things are expensive, okay? The things I'm about to show you are really expensive. But, I don't know if you know this, but my website and all my website is completely ad-free. I don't put ads or sponsors on there because I hate them. And I just think they're super annoying. So I'm just looking at ways to raise money because it all costs money. I have a blogger I pay. I have to pay a lot of things. So if you guys want to get some cool swag, I just set this up. I just ordered a few things for my family, some sweatshirts and some t-shirts. Yes, I know they're expensive. They just are, I know. So if you want to support My First Fish Tank and you also want a piece of swag, just go to my website, click on store, and yeah. That works pretty well. That would be fantastic. All right, let's say hi to everybody. How's everybody doing here? I am juggling so many screens right now. The more I do this, the more screens I get. All right, who do we have here? Tony, are you still awake, Tony? Tony, if I'm not here when you start, he's in Australia. So I started this stream pretty early. So he was 2:10. Tony, if you're still awake, say hi. Bahama Llama Coral is busy fragging today. Hi, Remy. If you guys don't follow Bahama Llama, he's almost at 10,000 subscribers, and he will pass me. I bet you he'll pass me within 2 months. His station is taken off, and he does some great, fun content every single week. And for those of you in the St. Louis area, you might know him. He's on the radio as well. So welcome. Thanks, Bahama Llama Coral. He's busy working fragging stuff today. Who else we got here? Let's see here. Mark. Hey, Mark. Mark from Singapore, of course. Mark is one of our favorites. Comes back every week. Good to see you, Mark. Treat Brooklynella. Yes, we will definitely talk about treating Brooklynella. Mikey D. Hey, Mikey D. Tony is still awake. You made it, Tony. You made it. That's fantastic. Tony, Harkins Aquatics. Oh, hello, Harkins Aquatics. Las Vegas, right? I'm actually be coming on a little trip to Las Vegas. Soon. Reno, Nevada. What? $5. Reno, Nevada. You are so kind. You need suggestions on plumbing my Syncra SDC Wi-Fi controller pump to my IM. Okay, well, we'll go over that as well. Starship Briefing, congrats. Thanks, Matthew Free Goblin. Hello, all. Hey, Hey everybody, good to see so many people here. All right, well, should we just jump right in, Harkins? Yeah, no, I will. I'll let you know. I'm coming soon. I'm coming soon. So, shoot me an email, Harkins Aquatics. Just give me your cell phone number so that I can give you a text when I'm headed over there. Yeah, well, let's do this. Let's jump right in. What do you guys think, by the way? What do you guys think of the new transparent chat? The reason I put this transparent chat in because I figured most people are watching on their cell phones, and if you're watching like on your YouTube and you're watching it like this way, like this, then you couldn't see the chat. But now you can see the chat overlaid. So I think it's pretty cool. I'm figuring stuff out over here. All right. Well, let's jump right in. Thanks everybody for being here. This is like week 5 or 6 we're doing this. First question of the day. And if anybody else has any good suggestions, let me know. First question of the day is, anyone know how to treat Brooklynella? And this is from our good friend Mark Louis all the way over in Singapore. Okay. Brooklynella. So I've had Brooklynella with my clownfish a few times, and it really only seems to happen with my clownfish, to be honest. It looks so similar to ick sometimes, but it has a more, I don't know how to describe it, a more slothy appearance. Here, let's actually just jump in to my screen share here because I have a beginner guide to fish disease. Hopefully, I might have to stop this. I might have to get rid of this chat over here. This is kind of annoying. Isn't that annoying? I think that's annoying. We'll leave it for now. All right, so signs and symptoms of sick fish, 4 types. All right, fish disease. So let's look up Brooklynella. I know it's in here. I think I have a picture of my fish that has Brooklynella. Clownfish. It's not a great picture, but you can kind of see what it looks like. It has a different appearance. It's not spots so much. It seems more like kind of like mucus hiding on the outside, and it kills fast. In my opinion, what I've seen is it can kill really, really fast. If you don't catch it super early, and even if you do catch it super early, it kills fast. And not only that, but you have to treat it right, because ick treatments are different than Brooklynella treatment. So if you think, oh, it's just ick, and you treat with an ick treatment, then you're not even treating the Brooklynella, and the Brooklynella is going to keep taking off. So what I do now is whenever I have a clownfish that has something like Brooklynella, or it could be ick, or I can't tell, I treat for both. Really, for Brooklynella, let's see what I say over here. All right. I say formaldehyde, yes. I actually own a bottle of formaldehyde, which kind of scares me, and I've never actually used it because I'm too worried about it. It has like toxic logos all over it. But formaldehyde is one of the best treatments for it. But you can buy a more stable form of formaldehyde called formalin. Formalin is one of the active ingredients you'll see in something like a Ruby Reef Rally, which I have down here. Now, I know I say this every week, and people will be like, what are you doing? It doesn't work. Some people say the Ruby... let's say the Ruby Reef products. There's the Kick Ick and there's the Rally, and they have another one which I don't remember the name of. Whether or not they work is anecdotal, but let's be honest, that's pretty much true with any of our cures. Maybe besides like a copper-based cure, most of them are just anecdotal. These have worked for me, but I know people who say they don't work at all. So when I see a clownfish and I'm like, I don't know if that's Brooklynella or I don't know if that's ick, what I do is I use the dual treatment of Ruby Reef Rally and Ruby Reef Kick Ick. And this is the Rally over here. You can just type in Kick Ick as well. I have found that I have been able to cure my clownfish before. Not all the time, but I have cured them. And the Ruby Reef Rally, I believe, says use it for 3 days. That's a load of phooey. I've had to use it for 2 weeks. And it even says on the back, you may have to use this longer. And you dose it every single day into your tank, and it turns your tank this yellowish, orangish color. And you just have to keep on it over and over and over again. So treatments for Brooklynella, I would say use Ruby Reef Rally and Ruby Reef Kick Ick together, knowing that the Rally is the product that contains the formalin, and the formalin is what is going to cure your fish. If you can just buy formalin, it's hard to find. It's hard to find pretty much anywhere. So it's really, really challenging. And the beautiful thing about Ruby Reef, Rally, and Kick Ick is they're completely safe. They're reef safe, so they don't harm your inverts, and they're a biofilter safe. Now, I say that, but you have to watch your own tank because you're putting formalin, you're putting things in there that could be harmful. So you're gonna want to watch your livestock. So if you're using this in a reef tank, if you're using this with inverts, if you're using this with corals, and you just notice something turns and they don't seem to be doing as well, then what you need to do is do a water change and pump in the carbon, right? I mean, that's how you're gonna get rid of it. So watch it closely, but it has worked for me. I'm not gonna say it's gonna work for you though, Mark, because once you notice Brooklynella, it's almost always too late. And I know that's horrible to say, but it just is. Yeah. Does anybody else have any suggestions? Anybody here? Freaky Goblin, Bahamalam, if you're still here. Harkins Aquatics, I know you do a ton of this. What do you use, Harkins? I'm curious. Maybe we can do behind the scenes tour at Silverton. Oh, I already got a behind the scenes tour. I have all the footage. I have a friend there who took me behind the scenes, so that was really fun. I haven't actually put the video together yet. I did it a few months ago, but that was actually really fun. Cordon has great products. What do you recommend for what Cordon product do you recommend? Let's take a peek here. A Cordon product, Cordon Brook Cure. Try that maybe. Riddick Plus. Here we go. Riddick Plus. No, that's ick though. Treating, however, how do you treat directly? Clown perishing, Brooklynella, Cordon Riddick Plus, Riddick Ick Attack. So it must be their Riddick Plus. Let's look at that. Riddick Plus. It sounds like I'm saying like the Chronicles of Riddick. Riddick Plus. There it is. Cordon Riddick Plus. What does it say? Says controls ick and other protozoan and fungal and external diseases. I've never used it. I don't know if this works or not, to be honest. I have no idea if this works. I don't know. Yeah, well, anyway, I hope that answers your question. Formalin. Formalin is the cure. If we're just going to, like, type it in, fish formalin medication, I don't even know what comes up. I mean, let's look here. Formalin, fisheries, I don't think you can buy it. Like, formalin, formaldehyde. You can buy formaldehyde, but oh, man, that's... I'm just too scared to use it, to be honest. Disease fish with formalin here. Spruce Pest usually has good stuff. Yes. Let's look. What you'll need, quarantine tank. Here's how. Set up hyposalinity, ammonia burn. To already place fish in the formalin treatment container. Yeah. So I don't even know if you can buy formalin. Maybe it's state by state. I really highly doubt you could get it on Amazon. I think I got formaldehyde on Amazon, did I? Let's look up formalin real quick. I think formalin. Okay, so you can buy formalin. It looks like 10% neutral buffered formalin. So there is stuff you could do here in the States, Mark. I don't know what's available in Singapore, but it looks like you can buy formalin and you can buy formaldehyde. So do your research if you're going to do this, because I know especially formaldehyde is carcinogenic. So you have to do it right. You absolutely have to do it right. Alrighty then. I'm a little sip of my coffee. All right, Reno. It's time for Reno, Nevada. Reno, that was super nice of you. I never expect you guys to donate money. It's helpful because all that money goes back into my first fish tank. But I really do appreciate that. Thank you, Reno. Let's jump into it. Reno, Nevada says, need suggestions on plumbing my Syncra SDC 6.0 Wi-Fi controllable pump to my IM 50-gallon lagoon. All right, well, let's start here by looking at what we got here. So we have the, what is it, the Syncra SDC 6. Here we go. Syncra. All right, Reno, Nevada, tell us a little bit more too. What are you currently using? Are you using the stock pump? And the IM50, we'll look at that in a second. All right, everybody, so here's the question. Here is the SDC. It's a DC return pump, all right? And it looks like it has a threaded end over here, so it can be screwed onto another threaded piece, but these might be removable, maybe not. Let's see what else. Okay, so threaded ends, so you're gonna have to get some sort of threaded union, maybe, or something threaded like that. Yeah, here we go. That's interesting. Right, so here's a good picture right here. Oh, it comes with all this plumbing. Oh, here, great. Okay, so it comes with tons of plumbing. Oh, okay, this makes it easy. So it comes with the barbed endings. I can't find it. Yeah, sorry. Pump outlet is 1 inch. My tube connector is 1/2 inch. All right, pump outlets. Okay, so you're saying the pump outlet here is 1 inch, but your tube connector. Okay, so you need a reducer, basically, is what you need. So let's look at bulk reef supply. Sells a lot of this stuff. Let's look at reducers. Plumbing, man, plumbing is so hard. Reno, Nevada. It's, I mean, I've plumbed 3 or 4 times now, and it's still like a huge pain. So you have a reducer or a bushing can do the same thing. So if we're looking over here, let's actually check out here too. Let's look at the SDC. Because it's really going to depend. Because if you have a threaded end, you're going to reduce that down differently if it's not threaded. So if we look here, all right, what are your options? Okay, so up at the top left are your barbed options, right? And it looks like that already reduces down. So my question is, Reno, if you look at those barbed options I'm showing, does that reduce down to 3/4? Or does that reduce down to 1/2? I'm guessing it reduces down to 3/4. And then you also, and then you also have some areas to screw in here. Okay, all right, I have a good idea here. Barbed to soft pipe to slip barb reducer. Here, let's look at this. All right. Barbed to soft. Okay, so you could take, here's what he's saying. You have this barbed end up here, you see it? That's what Harkins is saying. You have this barbed end. If it's a 3/4, even if it's 1 inch, you take a 3/4, you attach the barbed end, you attach some flexible tubing to that barbed end, okay? And now you have a 3/4 flexible tubing, okay? Now you need to take, now he's saying to slip, barbed to soft pipe to slip barb to reducer. Harkins, you got to explain that more. Let's see what options are over here. Reducer couplings, no, that's not going to work. Reducing bushings. Oh, wait, you could just do this, right? Am I totally out of line here? Look at this. What if you did a 1 inch? Here, right here. Look at this. What if you use this? A 1 inch to 1/2 inch, but you need 1 inch to 1/2 inch. You don't need slip. You don't want slip though. Oh my gosh, you see how hard this is? Because if you're looking back at this picture here, that's threaded. So you could just put on a threaded, threaded. So you could just put on, if you could get a bushing, a threaded bushing. Are these all slip? These are all slip. Okay, so these are all slip. So these aren't going to work. So you need a thread. So you could use a threaded bushing, which evidently they don't female thread. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I guess I wasn't looking. Schedule 80, reducing bushing. 1 inch. Do they have 1 inch to 1/2 inch? 1 inch. Schedule 80, reduced bushing. 1 inch spigot to 1/2 inch female thread. That could be the one right there. Slip barb. That could be the one. So that could be a solution. Just use a bushing. Or you could jerry rig something with kind of like Harkins was talking about, where you could get a couple thread. Look at all this. They have so much stuff. I mean, how do people do this stuff? Okay, you could use this. Schedule 80 reduce coupler. 1 to 3/4. I mean, so there's a few options here. The bushing might be good. The coupler might be good. Or you could just let's see, how would you do this? If you got this, so what is this? This is 1 to 3/4 inch here on the left. I don't think they probably do a 1 to 1/2 inch, but you could just reduce it down. You could go a 1 to 3/4 inch and then take that and attach that into something else. I don't know. I'm not doing a great job here. I'm sorry, everybody. Let's talk about this offline, Reno, Nevada. So shoot me an email, Reno, Nevada, and then let's jump on the phone later and let's figure it out. What I do whenever I'm doing these plumbing problems, to be honest, I take, and I know this kind of sounds ridiculous, I have to visualize it. So I take everything, like all of my gear. I take my pump couplers and then like the 1 inch size and the 1/2 inch size, and I go to my local like Lowe's or Ace Hardware or whatever, and I just stare at it and I figure it out. You're gonna have to use some sort of bushing, some sort of coupler, or some sort of reducer. It will definitely work. It will definitely work. But oh, did you see that? Did you see that, Reno? DM Harkins Aquatics. He's really good at this stuff. He does this stuff for a living out in Las Vegas area. So shoot him a DM. That'll be really helpful. All right. Well, I'm sorry. I was not very successful there. Okay. So note to all my viewers, Matthew at My First Fish Tank cannot adequately describe how to fix plumbing problems. Okay. Let's just get that out there right now. All right. I do a 90-day quarantine. Oh, a 90-day quarantine, Harkins Aquatics. That's a long quarantine. That's fantastic. Cordon Ick Plus can do? Yeah, I don't know about Cordon Ick Plus. I was looking at it. It didn't say Brooklynella. Is Raleigh Reef safe for Albany? Yes, it is. Cordon Hillary. Hyposalinity is my favorite preventative treatment for fish. Yeah, hyposalinity. You know, I've used hyposalinity down pretty low sometimes. Not freshwater dips, but hyposalinity. And even if you keep it at like 1.020, it can be really helpful. The problem is now I only have one quarantine tank, and I have corals in there as well, and that's just not going to work with corals and inverts to keep it hyposalinic like that. But if you have a fish only tank, then that's fantastic. All right, Mark, can't find in Singapore. I'm sorry, Mark. Got 4 clownfish, now got Brooke. Yeah, Mark, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. You could I don't know. I mean, your clownfish probably don't have much of a chance if you can't get the right treatments there. It's getting harder and harder to get medicated treatments, especially here in the U.S. Even it's getting harder and harder. Alrighty, barb, yeah, okay. Helps reduce vibration with the flexible tubing, threaded. You can get a slip barb into that bushing. A slip barb. Oh yeah, slip barb, that would work. I just like the soft pipe to help reduce the vibration. Yeah, I like silicone too. Hey, Matthew. Hi, everyone. Rogue Aquariums, all the way up from Seattle. How are you doing? He's actually working today, so tell him to get back to work. Got that, Darren? We all know you're supposed to be working right now. It's okay. He's probably on a break. Thanks anyway. Yeah, I know, Reno. Thanks anyway. That was like the most worthless answer I've ever given in my life. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say about it. It was a pretty worthless answer. Oh, Harkins, you're at 1.016. Yeah, that's awesome. Mark says, it's Brooklynella. Will stay in fish tank with live rock and substrates without fish. Transfer my clownfish already. With live rock and substrates without fish. Hey, that's a good question. Does Brooklynella... Sorry, here, let me up my game here. Oh, where is it? Oh. Wow, that's pretty bright. Wow, that's better. Brooklynella. Does Brooklynella have the same life cycle? Does anybody know? Does Brooklynella have the same life cycle as Ick? Let's actually look here. I don't think it does, but then again, let's go screen share. Let's look it up. myfirstfishtank.com, and we're gonna check out my beginner guides and which one? Fish disease? Common. Let's see here. Where's Brooklynella? I don't think I have a life cycle of Brooklynella. Common name, description. Clownfish are notoriously susceptible to Brooklynella, but other fish can host it as well. Presents similarly to marine velvet, will often attack the gills first. Its life cycle is completely contained in and on the host. Oh, so there's no drop-off cyst stage. That's interesting. So it is different. It is quite a bit different than ick, because ick is going to drop off and then has a big part of its life cycle in your substrate or on your rock. So Brooklynella, it can kill fat. Yeah, Brooklynella does not do that. So what does that mean? I would probably still do, if your display tank has Brooklynella, once the Brooklynella disappears, I would probably still do a 72-day fallow period, personally, just because I'm not sure how long that life cycle is. I know a 72-day fallow period has worked for me in the past, getting rid of ick, because it beats the life cycle out. So that's probably what I would do, just to make sure. Mardell Quick... Oh, wait. Mardell Quick Cure. Mark, can you get either of these products? Can you get the Mardell Quick Cure? Quick Cure... Does Quick Cure have... Oh, yeah, it does. Okay. So if you can get Quick Cure... Sorry there, Mark. Quick Cure does contain formalin. So it could work. It has formalin, so it could work. So you could try the Quick Cure as well as a possible option for Brooklynella. Well, how's everybody doing today? We're already 30 minutes in. I can't believe it. My name's Matthew from My First Fish Tank, and you have reached the Help Desk Live. We're here every single Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. to help answer your beginner questions. If I don't have the answers, which oftentimes I do not have the answers, right over here is a chat, and hopefully we'll have some people who will jump on and point you in the right direction. If that doesn't work, we can always jump on to our screen share, or we can even jump onto Skype and have some of you on as a Skype guest. If you'd like to jump on and Skype on this live stream, go ahead and send me an email at contact@myfirstfishtank.com, and I can send you a link and we can get you on. If you haven't done it yet, if you could like this, that would be super duper helpful. How's everybody doing, by the way? It's getting it's supposed to be 105 here again today. It's almost the end of October, and this has been the hottest summer ever here in the Palm Desert area. It's really insane just how hot it's been. I'm just kind of sick of it. Like I'm looking forward to when I can take this whole setup that I have and move the live stream outside. Yeah, it'll be noisier, but it'll just be so much nicer than sitting here in my bedroom. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. Oh, other big news. Hit 10,000 on YouTube, which is fantastic. And I'm going to go to Vegas here soon, go on a little trip, going to visit some local fish stores, and just do some work out there. Also, I would be curious, for anybody watching right now, if you haven't watched yet, if you guys could do me a favor, if you could go to YouTube and go to my new video that just came out yesterday. And the reason I'm super curious, it's called How to Set Up a Saltwater Aquarium. Here, let me just go back. It's more helpful here. All right, here's what it looks like. How to set up a saltwater aquarium. It's a redo. All right, I had my old video, which is a year and a half old, and it's how to set up a saltwater aquarium, and it's 30 steps, and it has over 300,000 views right now. But I wanted to redo it, and I reduced it down to 10 steps. Okay, and I would be curious if you could watch this and let me know, because when I made this, I had a lot of fears about making this, and my fears were, I don't want to give people a false sense that this hobby is easy, but I also want to give people a video that makes them feel like, wow, I can do this. You know, I feel like I'm in this middle zone, because on the one hand, I want to encourage people to get into this hobby, but on the other hand, I want to discourage people to get into this hobby if they're not really into it. And I'm sure you know what I mean, because you guys all know. I mean, everybody here right now knows, like, this hobby takes a lot of work. And if you just think you're going to throw some fish in there and have success, you're wrong, you know? But on the other hand, I know that people can do it, and I know they can do it simply, and they don't have to be experts, and they don't need fancy equipment. So if you guys could, it would be really helpful if you could watch the video and then shoot me an email or just leave a comment down below whether or not you think it struck the right balance, if I should switch it, make it more complicated, less complicated. My goal with it was really to just give people 10 steps, because the number 10 is just nice, to make them feel like they could do it. So for example, I don't explain things when I say do a water change. I don't explain how to do a water change. Or add salt water. I don't explain how to do that. Or aquascape. I just tell them how to stack rocks. I don't tell them about negative space aquascaping or epoxies or cements. I just keep it super simple. I say feed the fish. I don't tell them what to feed or how to feed. I just try to keep it really, really simple. So yeah, anyway, that would be really helpful. All right. Hey there, who else has joined us? YT Reeferman. Hey, you sold everything? Nice. Nice job, YT Reeferman. Excellent. And now I'm going to keep the frag tank. Cool. Harkins, you're working too? Yeah, but you work for yourself, don't you, Harkins? Wait, is today, are you working for yourself? And let's see here. 170 days, no rain in Vegas. Old record, 158. Wow. Crazy. Crazy. This summer's been crazy. Okay, what should we talk about now? That was it. We had 2 questions. Can you believe it? That's all we had. Anybody want to throw out a topic? Or anybody want to jump on the little Skype here? We could also do that. I got my email open. YT. No, I sold and breeding pair and my breeding system. I see. So you did sell the breeding pair and the breeding system. Can you tell us why? Why did you end up selling the breeding pair and the breeding system? I'm curious. I'm very, very curious. I know, sad face. I know. Come to the Pacific Northwest for a while if you want a little cooler temps. I know. I should come to the Pacific Northwest. Is anybody else getting... I feel like we're doing pretty good down here in the desert. You know, I don't feel like I'm going too crazy, except that my kids and wife are at home all the time. I was lamenting and feeling like poor Matthew the other day because my 2 children each have their own room / office, and then I have this room, but my wife works right there, and she's the breadwinner, so she gets priority. So then little old Matthew is like kicked out to the kitchen with constant interruptions while I'm trying to film. So I'm like the only person who doesn't have a space. It can be frustrating. Freaky Goblin. Oh, okay, that's a good topic. Mistakes of aquascaping. For instance, building too high, forgetting you are going to add corals which grow. Pattern for the breeding. All right. Yeah, well, let's do it. Let's talk about some common aquascaping mistakes. So when I'm giving advice to beginners about aquascaping, it's a complicated topic, you know? I mean, first starting with like, what type of rock should you buy? What is live rock? When I was starting this hobby, I didn't understand the term live rock. It was the most confusing term I had ever heard of in my entire life, because I'm like, wait, how is this rock alive? Because it's dead, right? And then I was like, wait, but then there's dry live rock, and then there's wet live rock. How does that work? How can you have wet live rock and dry live rock? And then what makes it alive? You know, like there was no explanation saying, oh, it's alive because it has been no. So the first trick for me was understanding what the heck is live rock. And at the end of the day, we're in a much easier spot right now because it's very hard to get wet live rock. You could get it from your local fish store, but most of the time it's dry live rock. Whether you're buying like, you can either buy live rock, dry live rock that was pulled from the coral reef, pulled from the ocean somewhere else, and then dried on land, and so that all maybe acid washed so that all of the debris comes off it. You can buy quarried live rock, which is dug out, and it's probably old calcium carbonate skeletons from old reefs, like a Marco rock, I believe is a quarried rock. You can also buy manufactured live rock that is completely human made. That's like a real reef. Is that what's called? Real reef rock, Carib Sea, Aquaforest. They all make it, and they make it in like a white, or they make it with like a coralline color. But these are fake. right? And whether or not there's a big difference between a human-made live rock and a natural live rock in terms of porosity and how well it will hold beneficial bacteria, we don't really know at this point. I've heard some anecdotal stories that human-made live rock might not be as beneficial as we think when compared to like actual coral-made coral skeletons. All right. So anyway, first thing is what do you buy? I just recommend people buy whatever kind of live rock they want. Get a Marco rock, get a real Reef, get a Carib Sea live rock shakes. There's tons of good ones there. All right, first mistake. What do you think? What do you think? First mistake is when people get their live rock. The easiest mistake someone can make is to just take that live rock and try to put it in their tank right away. Beware. If you just got live rock and you take a big heavy piece and you lift it and you put it in your tank, if that drops, horror of horrors, everybody, because you can crack the bottom of your tank, and if you crack the bottom of your tank is done. A lot of tanks, you can actually buy inserts, which help. It's like clear acrylic inserts, which will help that. Or you can put in sand first, which will help cushion that. So anyway, that's the first mistake I see, is that people drop rock. And I've heard stories of just their tanks cracking. And oh my God, could you imagine that? You get like your dream tank, and then you're so excited that you put your live rock in and you drop it. Yeah. So anyway, okay, so that's my first one. But let's look see what you guys say. Not flying till vacation. Yeah, me neither. Trying to remember a freaky goblin. Try to remember to have an island for aquascaping for those corals. Yes. The Carib rock stacks very well. Only real sold in the U.S. The ocean is from Tampa Bay saltwater. Cool. A live rock should be called a biological active rock. Oh my God, yes. Harkins Aquatics, I totally agree. It should be called biologic active rock. That should be what it's called. That's great. That's a great way to call it. Okay, so the first mistake is dropping it. Okay. The second mistake I think that beginners often make is not having a plan, right? Because you want to build an aquascape that fits your goals. Okay? It doesn't do you any good to just throw a bunch of rock in there and then realize, oh, I can't have this sort of fish now because I didn't build this sort of thing. Or, oh, I really can't have this many corals because the lighting is all messed up. Or oh, now the big structure is blocking all of my flow and I just have a giant detritus trap. So having a plan, I think, is super important. And whether or not you do some negative scaping or you do, you use epoxies or glues or you just stack, just having a plan, I think, is really, really important for sure. So that would be another mistake. Another mistake I think that Freaky Goblin said is using your space. Okay, now I get it. Okay, if this is your tank, okay, most of the time you don't want to aquascape all the way to the top, right? Because then you can't place anything on top of there. But sometimes you can aquascape to the top and even a little above, and you can kind of create a really cool look just knowing you're not going to be able to aquascape to the top. I know a lot of people who don't aquascape past halfway because they want to have their pumps up here. They want to be able to place all these corals that might extend their polyps up to the top. Really, that's up to you. Another mistake I see people make is placing their rock, and I'm not saying this is a mistake, but placing their rock against the back wall. There's nothing inherently wrong with that, but if you place your rock up against the back wall, you can't clean it very easily. You can't clean your back wall. You can't clean the detritus that will collect underneath it. And it can really affect the circulation, right? Because if you have all of your rock stacked against your back wall, then pretty much if you have any sort of wave maker, they're going to be circulating the water just in front of it. But if you were to move that big stack of rock that's against the back wall and pull it more towards the middle, then you're going to be able to get that circular wave motion in the front and in the back of your aquascape, which is going to be really, really good for long-term flow. So personally, I tell beginners, don't stack your rock against the back wall. Keep it a good inch away from all sides so you can get an algae scraper in there, and so that you can get flow in front of it, behind it, and to the sides. I just think that's going to be a healthier system. Another mistake beginners make is stacking their rocks and not realizing how tippy they are, because you can get things like Mexican turbo snails or sea urchins or even a strong fish who's pecking at your rock. And if they are strong enough and it's tippy, they can topple over your aquascape, which could break the bottom glass, which could break your corals, which could trap a fish. You know, there's so many bad things that could happen. So yeah, while you don't need to use epoxies or you don't need to use super glues or cements, you need to make sure it's super stable. Another mistake I see quite often, this is I don't have anything here. Let's just say this is a big piece of live rock, okay? And it's like this, it's almost like a shelf rock shape, and it's flat, okay? Beginners will oftentimes take a flat piece and place it on the bottom. And that's not ideal. Like, then, first of all, when it's just flat on the bottom, that's all dead space underneath there. There's no circulation ever underneath there. You're also, nothing can live under there, so you can't have any sort of pistol shrimp. Like, there's no opportunity for any sort of life down there. So what you want to do is you want to take pieces of rock, not flat pieces of rock, that have legs on them, even if it was curved like this. That way, it's only touching the bottom, the sand bed, at a couple points, and it leaves that negative space underneath. Save those flat rocks, those shelf rocks, for higher up. Even if this is the bottom, put it up here. They can create really cool overhangs, a good spot for putting corals, things like that. Anyway, that's another mistake I see beginners make quite a bit. What else do I see beginners make? I don't know, that's about it. What are you guys saying? Agree to what you say about being called biological. Oh yeah. Use rock with purpose and don't forget flow. Absolutely, Harkins Aquatics. Use rock with purpose. Totally agree. Exactly. Flow and structure. That's why I have a spray bar in the middle of my tank to keep and disperse the detritus. High rock placement is for encrusted corals, not acros. Yes, very good point. Acros on a high level are going to grow. They're going to shade things. They're going to get out of the water. But if you have encrusting corals that will encrust the rock, then there's no problem if they just encrust the rock high up in the water column. Absolutely. I sure a 3/4 inch masonry bit with a 1/2 inch fiberglass rod and epoxy. Yeah, that's awesome. What combination of marine fishes would you recommend for 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot? Has anyone kept the aquascape they had when they started? Okay, we're gonna get to you. What's your name? Gura Prasid. Sorry, your name's just very hard for me to say. Gura Prasid Vidyaranyapura. Vidyaranyapura. We'll get your question here in a minute. Has anyone kept the scape they started? That's a legit question, and I'd like to ask everybody here. Is there anybody watching that is satisfied with their aquascape, that does an aquascape and does it so well that when they pass their tank every day, they're actually satisfied? That's a legit question. I'm curious. I'm a bad aquascaper. I know it. I don't like aquascaping. I find it tedious. I don't have the patience for it. I don't have the eye for it. So I've never, ever been happy with one of my aquascapes. I mean, that's just reality. So I'd be curious to know if anybody else is super happy with their aquascapes. I'm almost to the point of like wanting to pay somebody to come in and do my aquascapes. Because let's be honest here. Aquascaping is one of the most permanent things in your tank, and it's the thing that you see every single day. So if it's not right, you're going to walk by it and you're going to notice it every single day. Oh, let me say one more mistake people make. If you know you want a purple coralline rock, like a carob sea or a real reef rock, but you don't want to buy it because it costs 2 or 3 times higher, maybe just save up your money and buy the rock that you want. Because if you're going to keep that rock in there for 2 years, for 3, for 5 years, for a decade, wouldn't you rather spend a few hundred extra dollars and have something that makes you happy to look at rather than something that you're going to regret? I made that decision. I used old live rock from a friend, just a whole bunch of random pieces, and I hated it. And I did it because it saved me $300. I would not make that mistake again. I just wouldn't. I would save up the money and get the rock I want. If I'm recommending rock for beginner, what I would recommend for beginner, I would recommend the Carib Sea Life Rock. I'm currently trying out the Aquaforest rock. I don't know if you can get it anywhere. Its color is not quite as natural as the Carib Sea, but here it is. Carib Sea Life Rock comes in all sorts of different shapes. You can get the shapes. I just think it has a really nice color about it. You know, like a really natural looking color. I mean, almost looks like it has dirt on there. I mean, I just think that's a nice piece. And these shapes ones are nice because you don't have to put that together. There aren't seams. You don't have to like spend time with acrylic rods and cements and epoxies, and it's just what it looks like, you know? And for someone like me who hates aquascaping and who just can't visualize the shapes, I don't have to do that. I can just take one of these, place it in my tank, and build around that. That's just something I like. All right. I sent you some photos in mail. Can you check to me? Yes, Mark, send me some photos. I will check to see if it's Brooklynella, for sure. Anyone photo? Flat rock is only for glass bottom tanks. Flat rock is only for glass bottom tanks. Yeah, I agree. My Aquascape plan changed with experience, for sure. For sure. I still have the same scape in my bedroom, 32Q from 6 years ago. That's amazing. That's impressive. You know, my aquascaping is always like this. This is how I always aquascape a tank, okay? I'm going to draw it for you guys real quick. And it's just not working for me, okay? So here's the tank. We're going to draw a tank. This whole thing's going to be the tank, okay? Here's how I aquascape. I aquascape like this. Every time. Every time. Probably can't even see it. Here's how I aquascape, right? See it? Sorry. I have a big structure, like an island, and a small structure. Every time I do. I don't know why. And the problem is when you do vertical structures like this, for example, anemones. I am an anemone killer. No joke. I am terrible at anemones. Anemones should stay away from me. And I think I'm so jealous of people who are good with anemones. And the problem I've had when I do this, and I do it every time, or I do, if it's a small tank, I do this one. I do one big structure, right? And if it's a really big tank, I do 3 tall things. But when they're tall like this, you can't do, like for anemones, there aren't necessarily a lot of good spots to sink their feet into. And if you're getting something, that's one downside I've seen of like this life rock shape. Like look at this one right here. There aren't a lot of good nooks and crannies. You know, that old Pucani rock you'd get that was just so porous with all sorts of crannies. The anemone could sink their foot down there and feel super safe. But a lot of this new man-made, human-made rock just doesn't have those large pore structures that an anemone is able to do that. That's one downside. For my new Reef octopus build, I am going to do an anemone tank, and I don't think I've told anybody that yet. I am going to do an anemone tank, which is crazy because I'm so bad at it. But I'm committed to making it work. And so my aquascape for the anemone tank is going to be very simple, and it's going to be like this, right? Here's how it's going to be. If this is the whole tank, it's going to literally be like that. It's going to be like one piece in the bottom third of the tank with a whole bunch of nooks and crannies so that I can put the pumps up here so I can have constant water movement, but indirect water movement, and then the anemones can have a whole bunch of places to sink their feet. Now, obviously, it's not going to be solid. There's going to be like, you know, it might be like this, might be some swim throughs, you know. So, I mean, it's going to be like that. It's not going to be one solid piece, but it's going to be different and it's going to be simple. And I'm just going to do the put the rock in approach. You know, just take a whole bunch of rocks and stack them up and make them. I'm not even going to use epoxies unless there's a really tippy piece. I'm just going to do some creative stacking and make sure they're solidly stacked together. Anyway, my aquascape plans change with experience. Flat Harkins. Mine is only 3 rocks into a large arch. I'd love to see pictures. If you guys have any pictures of your aquascapes, send me a picture, by the way. If you have any pictures of your aquascape, send me a picture to contact@myfirstfishtank.com. Let me know when you do, and I'll share them on the stream. I'm curious to see what other people are doing for aquascapes. Mardell Quick Cure, can't find it here either. Online, can only buy at Amazon. Can I do hyposalinity for Brooklynella? Hyposalinity can be good at treating some things. I don't know if it's going to work for Brooklynella. I'm not sure. It may, but if it's internal, I don't know. Do a little research. I'm not sure if it works for that. Amazon. Let me know if you want me to come to the Aquascape. Thank you. That is super generous. Rogue Aquarium says, have a cigar while you aquascape. That's a good idea. Actually, I'd probably have to have like 3 cigars with the length of time it takes me to aquascape. I just don't know how people have the patience for it. Have you seen the black rock from Saltwater Aquarium and Real Reef? What? Black rock? What? Okay, we're checking that out right now. So wait, is it Real Reef Rock? Is that their website? Black rock. Wait, where'd you say? Let me see here. Black rock. Here it is. Real Reef Rock. Black rock. Product line. Real Reef. Okay, I don't see black rock there. I don't see it. So let's go to saltwateraquarium.com. Wateraquarium.com, or is it aquariums? Live rock. Oh, great. We have one. Oh, great. Okay, great. Shelf rock. That's pretty dark looking. Dark rock. Live rock. Belize branch. That's pretty dark. I don't see it. Harkins. I don't see any of the black. Is it like super black rock? I'm curious about that. Is it super black? We'll keep going down here. Mark, also, how to disinfect quarantine? I need use only bleach. I think somebody answered that. Yeah, to disinfect quarantine, bleach works great as a disinfectant. Take everything out, obviously sterilize it with bleach, and then rinse it out really, really well, and then make sure it's dry. You know, once it's dry, the bleach is gone. So you have to make sure you rinse it and then make sure it's totally dry so you don't have any bleach left in there, obviously. I like bleach because it gases on its own. Yes, exactly. Okay, here's an aquascape. Here we go. This is from my buddy Darren. This is a 600-gallon tank. Here's how he aquascape. Yeah, he does a lot of what I'm talking about here. I'm just going to put it up here, okay? Oh, here, sorry. Let me switch to this. It's a good example of a good aquascape. I got to refocus here, sorry. All right, see that? So he built it up about halfway, maybe a little bit vertically above half. But look, I mean, on the both edges, he has it away from the sides. He has his MP40s there, so he can get water movement on all sides. And then if you can see it from the other side, which we can't, you know, he has a lot of negative space in the front so that he can place acan colonies and other sorts of colonies down on the sand bed. So this is a really good example, I think. And throughout this scape, he has arches and overhangs and caves. Just tons of live rock in there. Yeah, that's an awesome one. Let's keep on here. I want to try that out. Hey, guy. Hey, is it Mads Heps or Mad Sheps Reef? Good to have you here. I feel like we had this conversation already. Mads Heps, Mad Sheps. It's got to be Mad Sheps, right? Mad Sheps, like Mad Hatters, Mad Sheps. Rogue Aquarium says, at Mark Uwe, you can use a vinegar and RO water solution to clean it out. Then I'd use a fan for 2 to 3 days to fully dry it out. Yep, that can work too, absolutely. Search blackout rock. Okay, blackout rock. We're searching blackout rock. Blackout rock. Oh. Well, let's take a peek at this. What? What? Okay, Harkins. What am I seeing here? Like, well, I guess my first question is why would people want this? Does it does it look does it look really good in a tank? Uh, I mean, wow, I've never seen anything like this. Does it? Are there some coral reefs that actually look like? I am so curious now, and it looks like they only sell the blackout rock in branches. Oh, I've never ever heard of this. Wow. Uh, Crazy. That's crazy. Wow. Wow, super cool. All right, let's keep going down here. Harkins at Dreamscape, best custom made I have seen. Mark, hyposalinity and dosing cupramine okay or not? Cupramine, Mark, doesn't work for Brooklynella. At least that's what I've heard. Cupramine does not work. So, no. NEMs like undercuts. Yeah, yes, they do like undercuts. And that's why all my scapes have never had undercuts. Freaky Goblin, NEMs also love moving. Yes, they do. Get some good old rock. That's a really good discussion about live rock. And I have a friend who lives in the area who swears that you absolutely need to seed an aquarium with live rock pulled from the ocean. Now, that doesn't mean you have to rip it from a coral reef, but there are places that cure live rock in an ocean and then pull it out. He just says, long term, you establish a beneficial bacteria colony that is so much better than what you're going to be getting in a bottle. So for the new Reef Octopus build, he is going to bring me some actual real live rock from the ocean, and I'm going to put it in my sump to seed my whole tank. And that means I may get nuisance problems, but we're just going to say screw it, and we're going to go with it because I totally trust him. I like bleach because it gases on its own. Sent you a picture. It's straight black. Correct. Great. Okay, all right. So it is Mad Shep's Reef. Got it. Search Blackout Rock MP60. Oscar Cervantes. Welcome, Oscar. Good to have you here. I have 4 of them set in a linear fashion. Green Navy 2006 says, did you take a place of Robert? I assume you're meaning for Marine Depot? No. I don't. So maybe would you guys be interested to hear how I kind of started working with Marine Depot? Robert left and to go pursue other things. And so they had a person named Michael who wasn't necessarily the face, but he was doing their video production. And this is around, I don't know, this is around the start of the year, I'd say. Something maybe January. He was making videos. You can see he was in a couple of their videos. If you check out my Saltwater Aquarium is Demystified, episode 1, he's in there when I go to the Marine Depot headquarters to pick stuff up. So anyway, he was making videos for them, and a mutual friend who works for Marine Depot, Kat, a lot of you know her. She goes by Metro Kat. She put me in contact with Marine Depot, with the owner. And so I was talking with the owner. We were talking about possibly doing some blogging for them. You know, basically I could write some blogs and they could pay for the blogs, so on and so forth. And I didn't want to do that because I'm in a really lucky position that my wife is a teacher and makes enough. I mean, we're not wealthy, but she makes a good living. And so we make enough that I don't have to bring in income right now, right? It's like my dream. So I want to focus on my business, on growing my website, and growing my YouTube, growing my social media. And so I proposed this. I said, how about I make videos that we share ownership, right? Because what I didn't want to do was become the new Robert, right? I didn't want to work for Marine Depot. I want to work for myself so that I can do what I want whenever I want. I think it's everyone's dream to work for themselves. So I propose that I make videos and then we each own them 100%, meaning we can do whatever we want with them. And so we started off and we tried that with the Saltwater Aquarium is Demystified series, and we did 10 videos. And It was a good deal for me because it got my face and my name out there a lot. I got a lot more exposure, obviously, being on Marine Depot. And they liked what they weren't the most popular. None of those videos have been like viral videos, but they're good quality videos. A lot of good information. And so we said after those 10, let's keep doing this. And so we worked out an agreement because those first 10, I just made them and I shared them with them. But from then on out, we decided to actually do video content together, to work together, and to where I get paid for it, right? So I don't work for Marine Depot, but I work very closely with Marine Depot. I have a couple contacts there, and we meet every other week. We plan content. They send me gear that I need, and then they pay me for the ownership rights. So you'll probably notice that whatever video they post at Marine Depot is also posted at my first fish tank, and we coordinate that, and we usually post them at the exact same time. So that we both have that content. But no, I eventually, then COVID hit during this time. So when COVID hit, and then Michael, the guy I was talking about, Marine Depot, he left. So now they don't have anybody making videos for him. Like they have nobody making videos for him. So it was fortuitous timing that I was there to make videos for them, and it's working out really well. I think it's a good relationship. I really like working with Marine Depot. I like the exposure it brings. I like the content I make. They give me total creative license to do whatever I want, and they've just been fantastic to me. And I'm still able to own my own content and to keep doing what I love to do. So I believe Marine Depot will hire someone in the future. They will hire a new face and a new person to make them videos. But we probably have to get through COVID, and they're so busy with other things right now. So no, I'm not the new Robert. And you'll probably have noticed too that they're bringing on other collaborators like myself. Reef has joined the Marine Depot team, and then Hillary from Waterlogged. So there's actually 3 of us now making videos. I'm probably still the most consistent making videos, but Reef doing this huge 24 series new build he's doing in his home. And then Hillary is doing all these different videos about different types of fish, which is super helpful if you haven't checked those out. Just tons of good information there. So yeah, sorry, sort of a long answer there. Alrighty. Oh my gosh, another half hour. Oh, where does the time go? Oh, everybody, stretches. I like this shirt. Gets my wrasse. I wore it outside today. People were staring at me. Isn't that nice? I just love it. I don't know where you can buy it. Like, part of me just wants to read it myself because this was sent to me from Poland, from Aquaforest. But I don't want to, like, piss off Aquaforest and, like, steal their design, so I'm not going to do that. Welcome, everybody. My name is Matthew from My First Fish Tank. This is the every 15-minute, gotta say, hello. You've come to Help Desk Live. We're here every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. to help answer your beginner questions, whatever they are. Sometimes I know the answer, sometimes I don't know the answer. We have a lot of great experts over here in my new cool transparent chat who will help give answers. We can also jump onto a screen share, look up answers. Also, we can jump onto a Skype conversation, and this big dark space right over here could be you. If you have the good answer, I can give you the link as well. If you have any questions as well, you can also go to myfirstfishtank.com. It's my blog. Tons of good information there, updating it constantly. It's me and my employee Max, who's writing blogs for me as well right now. Also, if you would like to help support us, I don't know if you've noticed this, but My First Fish Tank is completely ad-free and sponsorship-free, because I hate when you go to those websites and they just trick you with ads and they're constant. So literally no ads on my website. Which means I don't make a lot of money on the website. So if you'd like to support us and also get some cool swag, we also do sell merch. It's expensive, I know, I get it. But if you were looking at a way to donate to My First Fish Tank to help us keep making money, the money just goes back into the business. I don't make very much money. I should just tell you that right now. Like, in case you're thinking that I rake in the money, I do not. I make very, very little money doing all this stuff. But you can buy some cool merch here if that floats your boat. I don't sell it directly. It's sold through Teespring, so whatever you order is made and drop shipped. That would be super helpful as well. All right. let's get back to it. Anybody have any other questions here? Freaky Goblin says, even in Germany, you can get live rock. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I bet you here in the United States, we'll figure out, and somebody, some company or companies will start a larger scale production of live rock again, where they take quarried rock or just old coral skeletons, throw them in the ocean for 6 months, and then start selling them. That's probably going to happen again. Because we used to get live rock from Fiji, but now we don't anymore. So, anyway. Alrighty, black sand on the ground. That black rock would be invisible. Yeah, wasn't that crazy? Mad Chef's Reef, black sand and black ground with that whole new black. I really like, I know some people don't. I like the black rock. I gotta focus here. The only crappy thing about black rock I found, the Hawaiian black, is it's magnetic. And if it gets caught in your magnetic algae scraper, and it just rips your glass to shreds. Like, you have to be so careful with it. It's not like a Fiji pink or a special grade at all. It's just, it is. But I love how it looks. I love how it looks. I wish they made it in a little more coarse. A little finer, because right now the Hawaiian black is super coarse, which is fine, but then it becomes more of a detritus trap because those big particles can sink down, which I've noticed, and I don't like that. So if they could make a fine version, like a Fiji pink, maybe they can't because it's magnetic, and then it will just attach to your magnet and then scratch everything. I don't know, but I love it. It makes the neon super pop in blue-only tanks. Oh, so if you were to get the black rock, that makes sense. That makes sense. It would make the neon pop. It totally would make the neon pop. Oscar Cervantes. Is algae a sign that a tank is cycling? My tank has been up for 2 weeks now, and I thought out of 2 weeks my ammonia has been 0.25 and nitrite was zero for a week, and then it went up to 0.25, and now it's back to 0 parts per million. For the 2 weeks, I didn't have any trace of nitrates. And as of yesterday, I have 5 parts per million. And like I said, algae has started to grow. Is it a sign that it's in the last stages? Oscar, I know you told me this last week or the week before. Are you using any sort of product to cycle your tank? Are you using a Dr. Tim's or a Brightwell, like a fast start or a Microbacter 7, ammonia chloride, Dr. Tim's one and only? So typically during a cycle or soon after a cycle, you will get your first algae. Yeah, I use the Fritz. Okay, I use the Fritz. Okay. The most common type of algae you get during the cycle or right after the cycle are diatoms. It's just a brown kind of algae. Nothing to be worried about. It's normal. They like light. They show up. They're not a big deal. The big deal kinds of algae are the bubble algae, the green hair algae, the dinoflagellates, and then bacteria like cyano. But no, it's totally normal, Oscar, to get that brown algae. If it's growing on your rock, you could give it a gentle scrape off, but generally it goes away on its own. I've had those diatoms show up for me for months. Even my established tank up 2 years now, I get little patches of diatoms, but I don't even touch them anymore because I have so many pods in there and a conch and seraph snails that will turn it over, and I know it will just disappear. Does it mean that you're getting near the end of your cycle? Maybe, maybe not. You'll know you're getting near the end of your cycle because you've had your ammonia, right? When your ammonia goes down to 0, okay, then your nitrites are going to go up. Once your nitrites go up and they peak, I don't know what they'll peak at, but once you notice your nitrites start going down, then you're getting close, right? Once your nitrites get to 0, back to 0, your cycle's pretty much done. Your nitrates at that point should be readable, right? And then that's why people say once your nitrites go to 0, do a 50% water change because that will help reduce your nitrates initially. Eventually, your beneficial bacteria, you'll need to have anaerobic beneficial bacteria that will populate deep inside your live rock or in ceramic media or in a deep sand bed, and that will help naturally convert that nitrate into nitrogen gas so that you don't have to just constantly do water changes because your nitrates will just always go up and up and up. Also, you'll have corals that will uptake some nitrate. If you have any sort of macroalgae, that will uptake nitrate as well. So really, when are you close to your cycle being done? You're close to your cycle being done when your nitrites have peaked and have started going down. That's what I would say. Oscar, yeah, it's brown algae. Yep, nothing to worry about at all. Yes, yeah, okay, that Freaky Goblin makes a very good point. The cycle is never done. It's really, Freaky Goblin is completely correct. It's really true. You know, all the rage right now, and I do it, is fishless cycling. And I think it's a great idea. I am not anti-fishless cycling, you know, because putting fish into cycle a tank is going to cause stress because they're going to be in a system that contains ammonia. So fishless cycling, by adding ammonia chloride and then adding some sort of beneficial bacteria, will help that initial cycle set up. But then once that cycle's set up, it's there, then you add fish. Well, anytime you add anything different, anything biological, whether it's extra food, whether it's extra livestock, whether it's something dies in your tank, you're adding fuel. You're adding a biological source, which is going to break down to ammonia, turn to nitrite, and turn to nitrate. So anytime there's a slight change, your tank is going to cycle again. I mean, it's not going to be a major cycle, right? Probably not, unless there's a major die-off or you add a whole bunch of fish in. I mean, a lot of beginners make the mistake that they cycle their tank. They're like, yes, it's cycled, and now I can add fish. And then in their 20-gallon tank, they go out and they buy, 5 fish. And then they don't test anymore. Well, if you just finished a fishless cycling method and you add in 5 fish to your tank, right, you just shocked your system because your cycle was set up, but it was set up in such a way that there was no food coming in. There was no waste, right? So how many beneficial bacteria could you have? Because the beneficial bacteria needs a food source. It needs ammonia, right? And so if you're not feeding your tank every day, if there's not waste every day, then there is not going to be ammonia. So yes, your tank is cycled, but the number of beneficial bacteria are going to be super low. And then if you add in 5 fish all of a sudden, your bio load has exploded with the food and the poop, and it's going to break down to ammonia and nitrate. And then all of a sudden you have this higher ammonia level, and your beneficial bacteria is like all the way down here, and it's going to have to multiply and grow and grow and grow and grow in order to catch up with that, So anyway, yeah, I think Freaky Goblin has a very good point. Never stop testing your tank. Once it's stable, you probably don't have to test as much for ammonia and nitrite sort of a thing, but anytime you make a change, treat it like it's a new system and do your testing. Alrighty. Oh yeah, sorry, Freaky Goblin, I totally forgot that question. Okay, yes, I'm sorry, I forgot your question. Guru Prasad asked a question. What fish would I recommend for a 2-foot by 2-foot by 2-foot aquarium? All right, 2 foot by 2 foot. Here's a foot. I do have some good suggestions for you. So how many gallons would that be? 2 foot by, would that be like a, I'm trying to visualize it. 2 foot by 2 foot. Like a 30 gallon? 30 gallon? I don't know. Okay, but yes, I do have some suggestions for you. Let's see here. Guru Prasad, check it out here. Start on my website. It's just myfirstfishtank.com. And then what you're going to want to do is on the upper left here or down below here, but my face is hiding it. Just click on beginner guide. See right up here? 60 gallon. Thank you, Harkins. So 60 gallon. Okay, great. Go to beginner guides and then go to saltwater fish. Okay, this is my beginner guide to saltwater fish. I talk about all sorts of things in this beginner guide. I talk about characteristics of beginner fish, what makes a fish a beginner fish. It's hardy, it's inexpensive, it's easy to find, acclimates well, ships well, captive bred if possible, small, peaceful, right? All those things. Talk about aquarium requirements, and then we get down to choosing a healthy fish. That's not your question. Your question is, what do I recommend? So for a 60-gallon tank, let's see here. And if you're watching this, go ahead and put right up here. I guess it's up here now. The chat. Put what your stocking list. Start with a couple clowns, right? Clownfish are the perfect beginner fish. 2 clowns. Your choice: Ocellaris, Bercula. Maybe stay away from some of the others. Just stick with the easy ones that we know of for now. Maybe a Clarkie. All right. Cardinal fish. I love cardinal fish. The clownfish are going to choose an area of your tank. If this is your tank, they're going to choose one thing in your tank. It might annoy you. They might choose this part right here because they have a spigot they like, or they might choose this rock over here. They might choose this wave maker up here, and they're just going to live by it and protect it like it's their own, right? So they are not going to be swimming all over your tank for the most part, right? They're just not, right? So choose a couple of clownfish. That'll be fine. Cardinal fish, on the other hand, will sit in the open water. They'll sit in the open water and just not move. I love them. I think they're gorgeous, but they are going to slowly move around your tank. They're not like wrasses. They're not going to swim all over the place, right? But they're going to choose a spot and kind of hang out there, and then they'll slowly move and slowly move and slowly move. So a Bangai or pajama cardinal fish, you could get a small number of them. You get 3 to 5. They're really fun to watch because they always hang out together. Firefish are great. You can get 1 firefish. I'm not sure if you can do 2 firefish unless they're a mated pair. 1 firefish. Firefish are going to dart in and out. So they're fast movers. They're gonna live in a spot in your live rock possibly, and they're gonna everywhere. So you have your couple clownfish that are going to hang out here. You have your cardinal fish that are going to slowly move. And then you could have a firefish that's going to dart in and out of your rock. Pretty cool. A yellow watchman goby is a great addition. Don't add them. Actually, that's not true. You can add a watchman goby at the beginning because it's not a sand sifting goby. A really cool pair is get a watchman goby or a rose goby, and pair it with a pistol shrimp. You can buy pairs that are together, and then make sure you have a sand bed, and then they will just make a burrow underneath a live rock and just live together, and they're super fun to watch. So yeah, you can get a yellow watchman goby. In a 60-gallon tank, you can do some bigger wrasses. Not bigger wrasses, but I think a 6-line wrasse is a really good beginner wrasse. Yes, they can be aggressive, but they're also quite small. Make sure you have a lid on your tank because they're jumpers. I mean, you should always have a lid on your tank anyways. But make sure you have a lid on your tank. But yeah, 6-line wrasse, super small. They can be territorial, so just watch. Maybe add them last. Maybe. Anyway, they're really nice. And then you could choose. I mean, you could get one of each. I have a long nose and a flame hawkfish. They're fun to watch. They don't have swim bladders, so they perch on things. They'll perch on things, and they're peaceful. They're fun to watch, right? So what do we have for your 60-gallon tank? We have 2 clownfish, which are going to live somewhere in one area. Cardinal fish, which are going to live in the water column. Okay. Firefish, which is going to dart in and out. Watchman goby is living at the bottom of your tank. So we're having a pretty good mix here between like free swimmers, bottom dwelling fish. Wrasse is going to be pretty much a free swimmer. Once he's brave, he's going to be a good free swimmer. The hawkfish will typically perch, but they'll perch anywhere. They'll perch on your wave makers. They'll perch on your rock. They'll perch on the ground. They'll perch on the glass. I don't know how they do that, but they do. So they'll be all over, but certainly perching. If you wanted to get another schooling fish, you could go with a blue-green chromis. One interesting thing about blue-green chromis, there's good batches and there's bad batches. Chromis, once they're acclimated to a tank, they can live for over a decade. I mean, they can get big. They're beautiful to look at. They're crazy inexpensive, and they're really common. But the thing I've noticed about chromis is they don't acclimate well. And I have had the worst luck with chromis. Like, you get a bad batch, and just like they all seem to like stress each other out and die. But you could get some chromis and try them as well. I know some people had some comments here. Let's see here. I have so much beneficial bacteria. When talking about X gallons, it's important to note length is often more important. There's a nice combination, yeah. So that, I mean, yeah, that's a whole other conversation. If you have a 100-gallon tank, but it's 100 gallons this direction, vertical, that's not ideal, because most fish require horizontal space to feel safe and to get out of the way of other fish. Also, the only gas exchange where they're going to get oxygen happens up here. So there might not be a lot of oxygen in here. So what Freaky Goblin's saying is a cube's a decent option, but a longer tank is going to be able to spread out aggression, because some species of fish have a 1 foot or a 2 foot perimeter where they will protect. So if you have a 3 foot tank, then you can potentially have something semi-aggressive over here that will only go 2 feet and then have the last remaining foot over here. So yeah, I mean, super important to remember. But yeah, check that out. Check out the Beginner Guide to Saltwater Fish. A lot of good options on there. Hopefully that was somewhat helpful. Alrighty. Who says hi? Wait, somebody said hi. Emmanuel. Hi, Emmanuel. What up? Good to see you. All right, moving on here. Fritz 900 Brown. Cycles are finished. Thank you very much. Can do international shipment. I don't know. You have to check on the website. I don't know if they ship internationally. I don't know. Sorry. I mean, just go to checkout and see if they ship internationally. I don't actually. If you buy something from the store, I don't make it. It's made by this other company, and then they just drop ship it. So, all right, Matchups Reef. How much sand is needed for a 6 by 2.5 foot tank? Ooh, really good question. So, Matchups Reefs, there are sandbed calculators. I think if you go to, let's look together. I think if we go to Bulk Reef Supply, I think they might have them. They have a whole bunch of calculators, which I really like. Where are their calculators? Where are your They just changed their website, so find. There it is. Okay, it was right up top the whole time. I think they have a sandbed calculator. BRS Reef Aquarium. Oh no, they don't have it anymore. Oh, come on now. Maybe Marine Depot has it. Sandbed calculator. So what did you say how big it is? Let's see. You said it's... Oh no, what did I do with it? Oh, here it is. 6 by 2.5 feet. Okay, Depot has it. I should have checked there first, right? Length in inches. 72. Width 24 plus 30. It depends. I would say go for like a 1-inch sandbed personally, and we'll just say medium density. So there you go. There's the answer. It really depends on what you want. Go for like a. I mean, if you want just like a light amount of sandbed, because you don't need. Okay, let's start over here. If you know you're gonna have livestock that you want to live in the sandbed, then you're gonna need to make sure it's deep enough for them, right? So if you're gonna have a pistol shrimp goby population, you need to make sure that around their burrow there's at least 1 inch of sand so that they can burrow and dig and build holes up to 2 inches, right? Typical sandbed depth anywhere from 1/2 inch to 2 inches. Depends on what you get. If you get like a 2-inch sandbed, for example, but you're doing a 2-inch sandbed with Fiji pink sand, it's very, very fine, almost sugar fine. And that might work okay because a lot of that detritus can't get down into the sandbed. It'll stay on top, so you can easily vacuum out or blow it out. But if you have a 2-inch sandbed made of the Hawaiian black sand, it's much more coarse. And so a lot of that food and that poop is going to fall down and get trapped in that sandbed. So just think about that when you're deciding on how much sand you need. I personally nowadays like to have about a 1-inch sandbed, and I don't care if it's a little bit thinner than that. If I have a pistol shrimp or something, then I can just put more sand around that edge. But so yeah, so 72 inch, that's probably about accurate. I'd probably go with somewhere around 80 80 pounds of sand. That will probably do you just fine. Freaky Goblin, ammonia and nitrite kits. If you do not use them often, check the expiry date before use. Yes. If you don't test often, you should, first of all. I'm notorious for not testing often, but I have found that if I test every day or every other day, I just know my tanks so much better and I can catch problems. Like, for example, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, I was testing my 40-gallon breeder tank, which I've been dosing phosphate and nitrate to, just to keep them above zero. Everything was fine, and then one day I go in and I test, and my phosphate was 2 point something, not 0.2 something, 2 point something. So evidently there was some issue with my dosing pump, and it just let in way too much. If I was only testing once a week or so, I mean, who knows what sort of algae problem I could have had with that. Luckily, I caught it, and I was able to do a couple big water changes, throw in some GFO, and the problem was solved within a couple days. I have found that testing for nitrate takes 5 minutes, and testing for phosphate takes 5 minutes. You know, I use, for just super simple, super cheap, if you're testing all the time, I just use the API the API nitrate test kit. It's so easy, and it's so cheap. And then for phosphate, I use the Hanna low range. You can also get the ultra low range. That's fine as well. And then just buy a ton of reagents. That's what I do. I go through I go through 3 reagents a day because I have 4 tanks and I test 3 of them a day for phosphate. So yeah, that's what I do. All right, 60 Rogue Aquarium says, I have so much beneficial bacteria with my rock structure. I never test for ammonia or nitrite. Yeah, I pretty much never test for ammonia and nitrite. After I know it's, like, as long as I'm not adding new things to it or it's a big enough tank, I don't test for ammonia and nitrite. I test for nitrate. Daily or every other day, I test for nitrate, I test for phosphate. And then weekly, I test for nitrate, phosphate, calcium, alkalinity, and magnesium. Not really magnesium. I just said that. I don't really test for magnesium. I just keep up on my water changes, and so I assume the magnesium is being replenished. I should probably test for magnesium. Freaky Goblin, talking about yes, Mad Chips. My 6-line raft was a total tool. I've got a pinstripe wrasse now. Isn't that funny? Yeah. Mad Chips Reef raises a really good point. If you do get a 6-line wrasse, they can be awful. They can be mean bullies. Especially in smaller tanks, they can be mean. They'll go after fish their size or smaller. So they either need a bigger space, they need to introduce later, or you need bigger fish. Usually they can work it out. Like my 6-line wrasse would go after my Anthias, and my Anthias would be like, not today. And they would flash right back at him, and that would be that. And the 6-line wrasse would go after the hawkfish, and the hawkfish would just stare him down, and that would be that, you know? But yeah, you do have to watch those 6-line wrasses because they can be ornery. Even though they're small, they can be persnickety. Ooh, that's a good word, persnickety. John Zoller says, very informative. That's my dad. Hi, Dad. It's the first time my dad's been on the live stream. I doubt he's still here. Are you still here? John Zoller, a.k.a. Dad? I think my dad would really like a saltwater aquarium, but it's just so much work. And he's in his last year and a half before retirement. He's got a year and a half left. My dad's a drug dealer, by the way. That's what I like to tell people, because it's way more exciting than saying he's a pharmacist, right? But anyway, hey, Dad, welcome to the live stream. Harkins. So 3 to 5 blue-green chrome. Okay. So Harkins Aquatics here is answering the question about, I have a 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot tank, which is 60 gallons. What fish should I put in? And Harkins Aquatics says 3 to 5 blue-green chromis, no clowns, a flasher wrasse, and Molly Miller, and 2 shrimp cleaner or peppermint. Okay, I see that. I don't disagree. That wouldn't be what I would do. But it's a totally respectable list. Blue-green chromis, I just find half the time they die. If you can get them, that's great. I think clowns are just so hardy. You know, I always put in clowns. So, but yeah, I get not everybody likes that. And I think peppermint shrimp are the devil. I do. And that's only, and like literally how terrible it is, because I've had one peppermint shrimp who wasn't fed enough and who just went after my LPS corals. And so, but yeah, 2 shrimps, cleaner or peppermint. Cleaner shrimp, absolutely fantastic. All right, Harkins, Chromis-like acro colonies. I put huge old acro colonies for them to feel safe in. That's cool. Rogue Aquarium, plus a lot of Chromis will kill each other. Yes. Rogue Aquariums, Roland Damsel would be, oh, what's a Roland Damsel? Let's look it up. Roland Damsel. Screen share. Roland Damsel. I've never heard of a Roland Damsel. Oh, 2 L's. Black tap damselfish. Oh. Okay. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen them before. Very inexpensive. Oh, yeah. That's nice. Oh, wait. And you said a flasher wrasse. Let's look up a flasher wrasse. They're pretty ones, right? Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Oh, they're so pretty. Ooh, look how pretty they are. Gorgeous. I never had a flasher wrasse. Huh. Very nice. Alrighty. Let's see here. Roll in. Rock will reduce the sand amount, same as it will reduce the water volume. Yes, very true. I think sand depth is personal choice of how deep you want it. For denitrification to occur, you don't need that much at all. Thanks for answering the question. Of course, rogue aquariums, 1 to 2 would be adequate in my opinion. Yep, I agree. Emmanuel, retirement aquarium gift. You know, that's a good idea. I could do that. But I feel like all I would be doing would be giving my dad a butt ton of work. It's a good idea too, because I have extra tanks. I could go up there, and he'd probably like it. But maybe we'll see. That would be a nice retirement gift, wouldn't it? Oh my goodness, how is everybody doing? Oh, I am. Wow, 10:30. 30 minutes left. I feel like I've just been mumbling and bumbling today, so I apologize for that. Well, it's time for our commercial break. Hey, everybody. My name's Matthew from My First Fish Tank. You have reached the Help Desk Live. We're here every single Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. to answer your beginner questions. If I don't know the answer, we have people over here in the chat who can help answer. We can also jump on a screen share, look up the answer right there. Also, if you want to jump onto our Skype, that's always fun to hear from you as well. A really good place to go if you're just joining us and you are looking for answers is head to myfirstfishtank.com. I have all sorts of guides and links and whatnot. And also, you can subscribe to the newsletter. We put it out every single Friday, and it just has a ton of good content about new blogs, new videos. Also, merchandise codes. So if you would like a discount, so if you want a discount code on any sort of our merchandise as well. Here's a funny fact, by the way, everybody. Do you guys know how much merchandise I sell? And let's be honest here. I've only sold in the past t-shirts and stickers. In 2 years, no joke, right? In 2 years of having on my website, and my website's not big. I get 130 people a day to my website, which is decent. I'd like to get that up to 500. In 2 years of having a store icon on my website, how many 5-pack of stickers did I sell? I sold 1 in 2 years. In 2 years. You know how many t-shirts I've sold? Not to my parents. Not to my parents. How many t-shirts I've sold? You ready for this? 0. In 2 years. 0. Yep. No one's ever bought a single t-shirt. So I'm not too hopeful about it, but you never know. Maybe somebody wants one. I bought a lot of t-shirts, and I wear them all the time, actually. I just bought myself a nice sweatshirt for the winter season, so that should be nice. Freaky Goblin, you sent some pictures. Let's take a peek here. It hasn't come through yet, Freaky Goblin. I already did that. I'll keep checking to see when it comes through. Okay, 30 minutes left. I do sell merchandise. I used to sell merchandise. Nobody bought it, so it was just taking up my website space. So I got rid of it. And then when you get to 10,000 on YouTube, you can link a merchandise store with YouTube so that like at the bottom of your videos you can link to like a sweatshirt and t-shirt. So I figured, why not? You know, like give people a chance to support my first fish tank. So I restarted it 2 days ago. Yeah, I did. But let's. By the way, if anybody out there wants a discount code, like if you seriously want to buy a T-shirt and like be like the first one, wait a second. Let me log in here and I can get you 25% off. Hold up. Just gotta log in to my home. I gotta figure out. I think it's my listings. No, tools and services, promotions, and I'll do it for a week. Okay, we'll set it up for a week here. Where is it? Tools and services, promotions. Here we go. Let's call it promo code 25% off. Discount percentage 25. It expires in 1 week. The 24th. Add discount. Can't use that. Okay, so let's say 25 off. How about that? 25 off. There it is. Okay. Okay, it's live, everybody. If you do want to buy a shirt, you have 1 week to do it. Go to the store. All right, and here's the store. Let's see. Here's the store. It's right up here. Go to the store. Screen share. Store. Store. Click on store. It's the upper right-hand corner. I'll put a link in here. Here's the store. Okay, here's a link to the store. And then use the discount code. Discount code 25 off. There you go. Maybe somebody will be you'll purchase the first shirt. Someone who's not my parents or myself buying them for my kids. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, why pay full price, right? They're expensive. They are expensive. You know, the basic T-shirts, I think the cost for them, for me, is $11, $12. And then, like, for the sweatshirts, like, I just bought a sweatshirt. They cost $47, no joke. The cost on them is over $30, you know? So it's not like, no, $29. So anyway, all right. Any more questions, by the way? We're going to need sweaters. Yes, I just bought. There's actually quite a bit of stuff you can buy there. I like it. I think it looks nice. We'll see. You know, I look at some YouTubers, I just think they're just so much more popular. Because they have like just a few thousand subs, but they sell their merch like it's no one's business, you know? I'm jealous. Need an umbrella. Oh, you do need an umbrella in England. Oh my gosh, you do. I don't know how you guys do it. I used to live in Seattle, and it was just it was so wet and rainy all year round. I just couldn't handle it. And Freaky Goblin, your stuff has not come through here. I'm going to keep looking here, but let me check. Maybe it went to my spam folder? Let me look here. Junk. No, this is definitely all junk. No, all right, well, I'll keep checking. It hasn't come through yet for some reason. I don't know why. All right, well, we only got 20 minutes left. So does anybody have any wet, cold, raining, miserable? Does it affect you, Mad Chef's Reef? Like, my family ended up having to leave Seattle after 10 years because I couldn't take it anymore. Like, no joke. It wasn't the rain. It was the cloud cover. We had, I don't even know how many. We had something like 250 cloudy days a year. It was insane. Like, all winter long. We had a span of 72 days where we never saw the sun. Never. And I'm sure you guys get the same thing over in the UK, you know? But I got depressed, man. So depressed every winter. I was with a therapist. I was on medication. And so we finally had to be like, dude, this is not worth it. I got to leave. And oh my God. So we went from a place that had 72 days of cloud cover to a place that has 350 days of sun a year. A little too hot, but not too bad. All right, Brooklynella. Mark sent us a couple pictures of his fish. He thinks has Brooklynella. Okay, I'm going to show you guys. It's really hard to tell, Mark, if you're still here. But I don't see Brooklynella. Here. What do you guys see? I see bacterial infection, personally. Like, you see that around the mouth? You see that white part around the mouth? To me, that says bacterial infection. Because my clownfish have gotten that before. But the picture's not quite good enough. He sent 2. Let's see. Here, where's the other one? Sorry. Here's the other one. I don't see Brooklynella. And I know those pictures aren't great. Do you guys see it? But I don't see it. I don't see Brooklynella. So, Mark, if you're still here, based on those pictures, I'm not convinced your clownfish have Brooklynella. To me, it looks more like a bacterial infection. I can't tell. You would need some better pictures, less blue, so that I could see them. Maybe take a video and send it my way. Turn on the white lights so we can see kind of the color of it. Yeah. I've got some Viking blood, keeps me immune to the cold. Okay, I have some Viking blood too, you know, so like I'm Norwegian, Swiss, and Finnish, right? And I feel like Norwegian, Finnish, and even Switzerland are pretty dark places, right? I feel like I should have been better biologically prepared for dark weather. I don't know what happened, but maybe it's my, what am I? I'm a quarter Italian. Maybe it's my quarter Italian that took over and said, dude, you need the sun. Okay, well, everybody, we got less than 20 minutes left. We don't have any questions here. Does anybody else have anything you want to, any topics you want to chat about? We can chat about anything. Yeah, okay, Harkins Aquatics also agrees. Bacterial infection. That's exactly what I think. I also think it's a bacterial infection. By the way, I am digging this. Look at this. You can actually see through the chat. I had to figure out how to do this, but I love this. I feel like I'm finally getting decent at this whole streaming thing. Well, maybe I'll give you guys some updates on what's going on over here until somebody asks a question, if nobody does. All right, current tank situation. 24-gallon fluval tank, SPS, 1 SPS, tons of Euphilia, 2 softies, 1 clownfish, snails. Fantastic. No hair algae. Nitrates are 0, even though I feed. I don't want them at 0, but the tank's fine, so I'm not stressing about it. Phosphates are 0.06. Great. Then I have the Innovative Marine Nuvo Encore, the 2 10-gallon tanks that I done video series with Marine Depot. And the left side has Carib Sea Life Rock and Hawaiian Black Sand. It has a, what do you call it? It's a Yasha Goby. It's a Rose Goby Pistol Shrimp. It has 3 Pajama Cardinal Fish, a Royal Gramma, and then it has 3 Anemones in there. That tank has started to get some green hair algae, and so I need to do better. I've been doing a weekly water change. I might need to change the water twice a week. I'm running a little bit of GFO in there. With even the little bit of GFO I'm running, phosphates are still running at 0.1. Nitrates are somewhere around 10 to 15. So I got to watch my bio load on that a little bit. It's a little bit stocked up right now. Because I started to see some green hair algae, I'm very lightly dosing with Razor, but I'm going to be monitoring closely to make sure my nutrient levels don't fall and my anemones deal with it well. On the right side of the Innovative Marine Encore tank, we have the Carib Sea, it's Carib Sea, the Fiji Pink Sand. We have one, is it a Yasha Goby? Same type of goby, a rose goby. And then we have one snowstorm clownfish because the other gladiator or whatever, the Da Vinci clown died. Had ick and then died of a bacterial infection. That's all I got in there. So I should probably move some fish over there. And then we have the 40-gallon breeder tank, which is also a quarantine tank. Every time I say this, people get upset, but it's a quarantine tank with live rock. So the only treatments I put in that quarantine tank are reef safe and biofilter safe treatments, which some people say don't work. Oh well. And that one's currently, it has a refugium in there with tons of pods. It's dealing with a little dino flagellates, a little bit of cyano. So I am cleaning out the dino every single day. I am dosing with Dr. Tim's Waste Away, also adding in some beneficial bacteria on off days, some Microbacter 7 for the most part. and I am siphoning out, blasting, and using a filter sock to catch the dinos. I also just bought a UV sterilizer for that tank. I'm not stressed about it. It's not taking over anything. I'm cleaning off my coral frag plugs every week with a toothbrush, just so that the dinos don't overtake it. Seems to be doing okay. And then we have the Reef Octopus Lux 90, which is the new build I'm doing with Coral View. And I'm just waiting for a shipment from Coral View. They've been super busy because they have their new controller coming out. So I'm waiting for a shipment from them before I can continue with the Aquascape and then getting it wet. We're going to be doing a clownfish harem tank. I've talked to a few people. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Some people seem optimistic. It's going to be a clownfish harem. I'm going to get 7 to 10-ish clownfish, small, all from the same clutch. And we're going to do Ocellaris arpercula. I'm going to try to get percula. They're a little harder to get. If I can't, I'll get Ocellaris, all small. And then, yeah, we're going to build the tank around that. I'm not going to get them for a while, though, because as soon as I get the tank wet, I'm going to get an automatic feeder and feed that tank 4 times a day to really get the nutrient level up and tune in my protein skimmer on that tank so that it has a high bio load, so that when I put the fish in or I put the anemones in first, that I won't have to do too many adjustments. Anyway, that's the updates here with all my tanks. What's going on, Cole? Bacterial infection. It can also dissolve fish skin. Add an antibacterial to your treatment. Absolutely. Dark, no. Cold, yes. Yes. Do you have a water mixing station? Cannot remember. I do. I mean, I do and I don't. So right outside here, I installed my RODI system, and I installed it to the wall, kind of up high. And then down below it, I have a 50-gallon drum, and I plumbed the RODI system into the 50-gallon drum with a float valve, so that it will automatically turn off. The float valve is attached to a solenoid valve, which will then turn off the water flow once it reaches the top. And then I also drilled a hole into there and put in a small pump so that I can just plug in the pump, and then outside the pump there's some flexible tubing so that I can pour it into my 20-gallon container. That 50-gallon drum only keeps RODI water. It doesn't hold salt water. I do all my salt water mixing in my 20-gallon Brute trash cans, and I just wheel those into the house and I mix the salt water inside. I can't do that outside because outside in the summertime, the water temperature is 90 to 95 degrees, and it takes forever to cool down. And in the wintertime, I can do it, but the heaters don't seem to be able to catch up. So I do all my mixing inside, which I hate. I wish I had a room to do it, but we just don't. We just don't have that, so yes. What? Are you kidding me? What? Emmanuel? No, you didn't. I'm going to check. Emmanuel says he just purchased a shirt. I'm looking here. Let's look here. Analytics. Let's see here. Oh my God, he did. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, my first fish tank has sold a t-shirt. And we sold it to Emmanuel Rosales. What? Oh, you are the man. That is so kind of you. I can't believe you got it. Thank you so much. Well, from now on, everybody needs to know, for all eternity, the first person to ever buy a shirt was Emmanuel Rosales. Thank you. If you send it my way, Emmanuel, I will definitely sign it and send it back to you. No worries. I am happy to do that. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. And Emmanuel, did you use the 25% off code? I hope you did. I hope you used it, because those shirts are expensive. So I hope you used that. Well, thank you. That's so kind of you. Very, very kind of you. That's so nice. Yeah, I use it. Good. Okay, good. Good. I'm glad you used that. Wow. Big day for my first fish tank. Man, big week. Our first t-shirt sale. 10,000 YouTube. That's about it. But that's still a pretty big week, right? Harkins, let's talk about it. Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. The springs and summers here are nice. Yes, they are. I love the summer in Seattle. I love it. Love it. But that's about all I love up there. Harkins, are you going to try the hydros? Yes. I believe I just had a meeting with some peeps. I believe they're going to send me all of both of the Hydros products with all of the accoutrements so that I can make a video of it. Make a video to like coordinate with the release. So I do believe they're sending that to me. Whether or not it happens, cross our fingers. I'm excited to try it. No joke. I'm looking forward to it. So they've been working on. I mean, they've already had one, but they've been working on this forever, and it looks pretty nice. Hey, see you, Darren. See you later. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try it. I'm interested to see how it works. I really am. I'm really interested because it's a good price point. It's an amazing price point compared to Apex, Neptune Apex. Amazing price point. Alrighty. I have a 487 gallon build I'm working on. Harkins Aquatics, tell me more. Chris, tell me more. Are you building it for yourself or are you building it for a client? I'm curious to learn more. I have 5 tanks right now, and I can't keep up. I really need to like max out at 3 tanks for my house. It's just too much work. I don't know how people do it. So much work. Gotta go. Have a good day. Bye. Color like fading. I'll get a shirt later. Thank you, Chris. That's nice of you. Talk to you later. Bye, Rogue. Oh yeah, Hydros. Oh, Emmanuel, let's look at it. It's an aquarium controller. Yeah, Harkins is right. But let's jump on the screen share. Coral View is a distributor here in the U.S. But they also manufacture and are making this brand new controller, which I can't seem to find anywhere. Let's just type it in. They've sold this controller for a while, but they have a brand new controller coming out that's supposed to be awesome. Here it is. Hide their wave engine. Okay, see, these are all their old ones. Let's just look though. This is basically it. I think this is their their new one? This might be their new one. So yeah, it's a controller. It comes with kind of the standard things you get. It comes with Wi-Fi outlets, which is fantastic. pH probes, temperature probes. But let's look up close. And then you can connect different drivers into it. You can connect your lights into it. You can connect your pumps into it. I know, better hurry up. It comes out on the 31st. I know. I love Coral View. They've been really kind to me. You know, I'm doing this series with Coral View, Chris. But they've been so busy with this product that the response time has not been the best. So we're supposed to make a video for them every other week, but because they just haven't gotten me what I need, we've had to push that back. And no fault of their own. Wonderful, wonderful people I work with. They're just so busy right now. They're so busy with this controller. So, yeah. Are you gonna get one, Chris? Are you gonna get one? You are, right? Do you currently run a Neptune Apex and a Trident? I'm really curious to get. By the way, what I really want to get is I want to get the. What is it? Who makes it? The Mastertronic. Is that what it's called? Mastertronic. Let's look it up. Master. I don't even think it's out yet. It's not. So it's by the same company, Alcatronic. Who makes that? Alcatronic. Focustronic. Okay, this is what I want, everybody. Focustronic, Mastertronic. There it is. I knew we'd find it. This is what I want. You guys can't see the price because it's being blocked. It's $1,300. Right? I don't even know if it's. I don't think it's out yet. But here's what it does. It measures phosphate, nitrate, calcium, magnesium, and alkalinity. Yes, it measures all of those parameters. No joke. Isn't that amazing? Like it. Amazing. It has pumps for it. So, I mean, it does all the testing for you. Simple to use. Communicates with the Dosetronic, so you can pair it with a doser. So you can be like, oh, my nitrates are low. Well, guess what? We're going to dose nitrates. My phosphates are low. We're going to... I mean, unbelievable. Like, to be able to do that. So, anyway, I'm really excited. That's what I want. That's what I want for Christmas. It's a lot of money. I'm not gonna buy it. I just spent. I hate doing it, but I just spent $750 for aquarium gear, and I hate doing it. I hate doing it. But I was like, ugh. Finally went ahead and pulled the plug and bought a UV sterilizer. I've been putting it off for years because I'm like, it's so much money. But I bought one. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it on the quarantine tank. So I bought that. And then I got, what else did I get? Yes, everybody, it happened. I bought a par meter. I did. I bought a par meter. I'm so sick and tired of guessing on my lights. So I bought a par meter, and here's the one I bought. And for any of you who are interested, I'm going to do a review on it, obviously. But I did not get the $550 par meter. Here's the one I got. And of course, I'm not sharing my screen because that would be too awesome. Okay. Here's a little knowledge for everybody, which I just learned. Okay, you see these two par meters on the left here? Now, one's a rental, one's not. The one on the left, if you were to buy that par meter, Apogee. Okay. So you have the par meter on the left with the blue par meter. You see that little thingy, that blue part? It's $538, but it is formulated to work best with LED lights. So it's going to be the most accurate with LED lights. If you look at the one next to it, the black one is not meant for LED lights, but it's going to be accurate enough for what I need it for. So anyway, you can just pick up this USB smart quantum sensor, which is what I did, and it plugs into your computer. So rather than spend the $538, for $300 less, you can pick up the smart sensor, and then I also bought the wand. So, okay, I spent $300. I bought the wand to attach it to. And then you put it into your computer, and then you can have your own par meter for $300. That just seems a lot more affordable. Alrighty, that's good. Ethan, hi, Ethan, welcome. Welcome. We're at the very end of the live stream, but welcome. I might just have lost my Recordia. Oh no, Ethan, I'm sorry. That sucks. Harkins Aquatic, Wi-Fi does scare me. Fond of hardwired. I understand that fear. My preference is that if it's Wi-Fi, that it has a fallback. You know, so my hope would be that if the Wi-Fi is currently turned off, that the fallback would be off, and if it was turned on, the fallback would be on. I get that. I get that fear, but I don't know. I do love it. I think it's nice. No Apex and Trident. Senai Reef comes with a par meter. Yeah, I've seen that Senai Reef comes with a par meter. I wonder how good it is. I have no idea. And the Senai Reef monitor also tests other things, which is pretty cool. Louis Beats, hey Louis, what do you think of the Neptune Trident? It's awesome. It's a fantastic product. I mean, it's really the first one out there that can test and dose. There are also things I don't like about it. I think the price is crazy, just like the Mastertronic I just talked about. I mean, it'd be one thing if you could just buy a Trident, but you have to buy the Trident and the Apex system. So for a beginner, I mean, who's going to shell out $1,500 to just test a few parameters? I mean, that's just a lot of money. The other thing that also bugs me is my understanding is that you have to use it and test a minimum of 4 times a day. What if you only want to test once a day? I mean, why can't you have the option to test once a day? To me, it just seems like a racket where Neptune is saying like, oh, well, so that it's accurate and we can stand behind it, you need to test 4 times a day and you have to buy our reagents, which is going to be over $100 a year in the reagents. To me, it just seems like a bit of a scam to make you buy more reagents. Personal opinion, I could be totally off base on that one. But anyway, that's kind of what I think. What do you think? So yeah, but it's a great product. It annoys me when companies design their products so that you have to keep paying a lot of money. it just bugs me. Yeah. Harkins, Mastertronic ecosystem is about $3K for all the parts you need. Oh my god. It costs that much, Chris. That's insane. Fallback is mandatory. Ethan, move the Recordia to a more semi-dim area. Try to save it. Mark, it can ship to Singapore. Hey, but shipping will be $9.50. Sorry. So basically, the 25% off might help. Anyway, hey, thanks, Mark. You're kind. I have a Senai for doing cycles on people's tanks. Works great. It's the par meter. Oh, good. So, Harkins Aquatic says it does work good. So that Senai might be a really good option. That's fantastic. Get it, Mark. That's nice. Louis Beats. Is there a better option out there than the Trident? No. No, there's not. There is no other system out there currently besides the Alcatronic, which just tests for alkalinity, that does what the Trident does. Once the Mastertronic comes out, if it's not out yet, that will be a competing product. Same problems though, similar price point. It tests more, and I believe the reagents are quite a bit cheaper. But that hasn't happened yet. So, Ethan says, do you have any advice on how to get it back to health? Well, my buddy Rogue Aquariums, who's at work, he, yes and no. First of all, you have to figure out what the problem is. Is there some sort of nuisance thing? Is there a nuisance algae? Does it have a bacterial infection? Are there worms on it? Are there nudibranchs? I mean, who knows? So the best thing you can do, and it might be too late if it's already not doing well, is re-dip it. A really simple way would be to just re-dip it in something like the most simple way would be dipping it in something like this, like Coral RX or Revive. Follow the instructions. This could help it. You could also do a mix. You could do like a Coral RX dip, and then you could do an antibacterial dip. So you could use like, what do I use? I use Medical Coral Dip, Canaplex. Oh, I can't remember which one I use. I forget which one I use. But here's one, Coral MD. Anyway, dip it. That's what I would do. I would dip it. If it's going to die, it's going to die, and there's not much you can do about it. It sounds like you're doing everything you need to, though. Ethan, you're keeping it in a good spot. But you just have to make sure that there's no pests on it. Dipping it's the best way to do that. If it's super stressed out, probably feeding it's not going to be helpful. It will get the food it needs from the light. So just make sure there is some light there, decent flow. That's pretty much all you can do. Sometimes we just lose corals and we don't know why. Make sure your water parameters are good. Make sure your nitrates, phosphates, all that's good. And then that's kind of all you can do. Dip it in iodine. Yeah. I do a 3-step process. Here, let me just show you guys. Hold up here for a second. Let me unshare this because I don't want to share my personal files with everybody. I use a 3-step process. Let me find it here. Here it is. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Screen share. Here's what I do. So I mix 2 quarts of water, or you can scale this down. Let me zoom in here for you. Okay, here we go. I mix quarts of water with Melifix or Brightwell Coral MD. Doesn't matter which one. Or I just use the Coral RX. And then I dip it in there and I baste it. That's step 1. Then I move it from there to the antibacterial. And I use Furin 2. That's the one I was trying to say. Furin 2, same thing, 2 quarts of water. I dip it in there. That's an antibiotic. Okay. Then I move it from there into its last container, which has Lugol's iodine and coral aminos. And then after that, I will rinse it off really, really good with tank water, attach it to a plug, and you're good to go. I think this is a good acclimation method. My buddy Darren, it's called Darren's. It's not his, but he's the one who told me about it. He says if his corals can't survive that, then they just don't go in his tank, because then they're probably not going to make it anyways. All right, everybody, it's 11:04. I gotta end it. You guys are great today. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I was so off my my game today for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure why, but thank you guys for sticking around. We'll be here next Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., and I'll try to have more coffee in the morning so that my brain can like wrap around things. If you have any questions that I wasn't able to answer today, shoot me an email, contact@myfirstfishtank.com. I'll get back to you that way. I'll either type out an answer or I'll just shoot you a voice memo. Other than that, everybody, happy reefing. Have a fantastic weekend. See you later.